In this video, we explore the fundamentals of Marxist literary criticism, a powerful analytical framework that interprets literature through the lens of class struggles, economic power, and societal structures. Rooted in the theories of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, Marxist criticism focuses on the relationships between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat, the ruling and working classes. We delve into key concepts like class conflict, materialism, and ideology, using literature as a tool to understand how power and economy shape human experience. Whether you're a student of literature or a curious learner, this video will introduce you to Marxism as a lens to analyze literature and society. Marxism is a 19th century socio-economic and political theory created by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. It focuses on the economic relationships between different groups, particularly the bourgeoisie and the working class. It argues that human societies progress through class struggle, with the bourgeoisie owning production means and the proletariat selling labor. Marxism criticizes capitalism for its inherent exploitation of workers and advocates for the abolition of private property and the creation of a classless, stateless society. It predicts that the proletariat will eventually overthrow the capitalist system through a revolution, leading to socialism and eventually communism, a society without classes or government based on need rather than profit. Marxist literary criticism examines how literature reflects, reinforces, or challenges socio-economic structures within society, often depicting the oppression of the working class by the ruling class. It goes beyond interpreting a text and seeks to understand the historical and social conditions surrounding its creation, such as whether a novel portrays the exploitation of labor or class hierarchy and how these portrayals align with or oppose capitalist ideology. Marxist criticism goes beyond merely interpreting a text. It seeks to understand the historical and social conditions surrounding its creation. For instance, a Marxist critic would examine whether a novel portrays the exploitation of labor or the class hierarchy, and how these portrayals align with or oppose capitalist ideology. Economic power. Marxism divides society into two primary classes: the bourgeoisie, those who own the means of production, and the proletariat, those who work for them. The control of the means of production gives the bourgeoisie the power to shape society's rules, values, and institutions. This economic control extends to politics, education, and even the arts. Marxist critics analyze how wealth and economic control are depicted in literature. For example, in a capitalist society, objects are commodified. People value possessions not for their utility but for their symbolic worth, commodification. Literature often reflects this materialism, where characters' worth is tied to their economic success. Class conflict. Central to Marxism is the idea of class struggle. Literature often portrays the tensions between different social classes, such as the exploitation of the working class by the rich or the revolt of the oppressed. Marxist critics focus on the dynamics between characters of different social statuses and how these reflect broader societal conflicts. Class conflict can manifest in literature through plots of rebellion, oppression, and survival. The tension between the bourgeoisie and proletariat becomes a critical lens for examining societal change, with characters often embodying these class conflicts. Materialism versus spirituality. Marxism emphasizes materialism. Society is primarily driven by material forces, such as wealth and economic status, rather than spiritual or moral values. In a capitalist society, success is measured by material accumulation, and spiritual values are often neglected or devalued. Literature from a Marxist perspective often criticizes how material success is valued over personal or spiritual fulfillment. This could be seen in characters who sacrifice their personal integrity or relationships to gain wealth, thereby highlighting the corrupting influence of materialism. Commodification. Marxist literary criticism highlights commodification as the treatment of things, ideas, or people as commodities in a capitalist system. These commodities often have sign value, representing social importance. In stories, characters or their belongings are seen as symbols of wealth or status, not just for their actual use. Marxist critics examine how this focus on money and status affects people in literature, highlighting how capitalism makes everything, including human relationships, about status and value. Art, literature, and ideology. According to Marxist theory, art and literature are shaped by the dominant ideologies of the ruling class. The bourgeoisie controls artistic production, often funding art that aligns with their values and suppresses art that challenges their authority. As a result, the arts can propagate and reinforce social norms and power structures. Marxist critics study how literature reflects or resists the dominant ideology of its time. They might ask questions such as, does the text support the status quo, or does it challenge the existing social and political order? Does the portrayal of the working class offer hope for change, or does it reinforce their subjugation? Ideology, hegemony, and false consciousness. Marxist theory involves the concepts of ideology, a set of ideas that justifies the power of the ruling class, hegemony, the dominance of one class over others, and false consciousness, when the proletariat accepts the ideology of the bourgeoisie without question. Literature often reflects these dynamics by illustrating how characters are shaped by societal values, sometimes without realizing how those values serve to oppress them. A Marxist reading of a text would examine how the character's thoughts and actions are influenced by the prevailing ideology. For example, a character who believes in the American dream may not recognize that their pursuit of success is dictated by capitalist values, leading them to accept inequalities as natural. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content on literature, literary criticism, and theory. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.